So, I have been a caregiver in one form or another for most of my adult life. Whether it was caring for my children, working in a nursing home, doing home health, um, taking care of Jeremy, taking care of my grandfather on hospice, whatever it was, I have done most all of it, if not all of it. I have been kicked into walls and hit and kicked and spit at. I have been hugged and kissed and told that I'm loved. Whenever I became an aide, whenever I took my test, whenever I signed a contract at a job, I made the promise that I was going to protect my residents at all cost, that I was going to do everything that I could by the time that I left that room for that person, that I knew they were taken care of. And that by the end of my shift, I did everything in my power to make sure they were cared for. It seems that a lot of people have forgotten why they go into nursing. It seems like a lot of people think that, it takes so little amount of time to get this CNA certification or to get our nursing degree, so let's do it. Because we'll be into our career in no time. And then they forget. They forget the reason why. They forget the reason why they chose this profession. They forget that their job isn't to protect their coworkers. It isn't to protect your facility, because your facility and your coworkers, they're not always going to be there. But you will always be in the heart of that resident that you made a difference to. That resident that loved you. That resident that you cared for every day. That resident that they knew they could trust you and rely on you. You made a difference to them, not to your facility and not to your coworkers. You made a lasting impression on them and their family, and that is who your promise is to. Your promise isn't to anyone else. And you made that promise whenever you signed your name, when you took your test, whenever you decided to take a job, putting someone else's life in your hands, putting their care, their daily care in your hands. And I don't understand why it seems so hard to walk into a room and treat somebody as if they are your family or your friend, because they are someone's family and they are someone's friend and they mean the world to somebody. It doesn't take that long to sit there and talk to them and show them that you care. Because you may be that one person that takes time out of their day to show them that love and care that they deserve. Your report, your charts, they don't show what that person's been through. They don't show their life story. It doesn't tell you every single thing this person has been through throughout their life. But they'll tell you. If you sit down, if you talk to them, if you ask them questions, if you give them the chance to trust you, they will open up to you like you could not imagine. Their families will love you. They will love you. And they will become your family, because you're with them just as much as you're with your own family. And you're with them more than their family is. And for some people, they don't have family. Or they don't have family that cares enough to come see them. You're it. And you may be the only smiling face that person sees for the entire day, for the entire week. So when you decide to take the job and become a nurse, an aide, any job, really, in the nursing field, you need to realize you may be it for that person. You may be the only one person that they can trust, that they can rely on. Because once your shift is over, you don't know what happens the next shift or the next. or the day that you're off, you don't know what happens. And they're not going to tell you because they're afraid of what might happen if they do and if it gets back to someone else. You need to show love and compassion. You need to care for that person the same as if they were your family, the same as if you would want to be treated. You need to show kindness and compassion, not judgment and hatred. If you've had a bad day, if your last resident was horrible, if you've had a bad year, you woke up in a grouchy mood, that's not your resident's fault. And when you walk into that room, you should be smiling. You should be greeting them. Because they don't know, and it's not their fault. It's not their fault what you've done with your life. It's not their fault what's happened with your life. It's not your fault. Their fault that your coworkers don't help you or whatever the case may be. Because you'll run into that all the time. But your residents should never know. They should never know. They have enough worry the way it is. They have enough guilt. They have enough pain. Your problems are not their problems. And when they ask you about your life and they ask you questions, it's because they care. It doesn't hurt to tell them. It doesn't hurt to open up to them. They are your responsibility. If you're not willing to take that responsibility and you're not willing to put 120% into your job every single day, then don't do it. Work somewhere else. Get a different job. Because your residents, they deserve the best.